Okay.
And remember, you speak up really loud, okay? So I can pick up everything.
What did you do to improve Vaughn?
What did I do to improve Vaughn? Well, I really, really hope that what I was able to do here at Vaughn was to increase how many of our students are going to college, how many graduate, preparing our teachers the best way we can. I think that what I'm proudest of is our graduation rate is real high, the highest of any schools around our area, and making sure that students understand that college is possible. There's nothing that can stop us if we want to go after our dreams.
How did you feel when you started working at Vaughn?
How did I feel? I was really excited because I was downtown in an office that makes decisions for all of the schools in Los Angeles, and I missed being in the classroom because I was a teacher before I went over there, and I missed being with students. And so when I was able to come, and Dr. Chan and I worked at another school before, so we knew each other. So when Dr. Chan decided to convert this school to a charter, she asked me when she saw me downtown, Zepeda, would you like to come and help us at our new charter that we want to open? And of course I said yes. And so that's how I came. And so I was really excited to be back with students again, not over there in a stuffy office with only adults, but also to be able to come and really work with people that we know we needed to turn some things around that were not okay. We wanted to make some changes so that it was better for all of the students from our area, because we weren't getting students that were graduating. We were getting a lot of students that were absent a lot. We had a lot of gangs around here. The school was dirty. There was just a lot of things that were not okay. And so when she wanted to make a change and wanted to get a group of people to work with her, I was really excited to come and do that.
Why did you become an educator?
I became an educator because when I graduated from high school, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to become. I really liked art, so I wanted to be an artist. And I started going to college, and then I got real interested in psychology and understanding how people think, everything about the mind. And so I started working on becoming a psychologist, and then I needed to work because I needed help to earn some money to pay for my books and going to college and all of those things I needed to pay for. So I saw an opening as a teacher's assistant, and so I went to sign up and they hired me, and I fell in love with working with students in the classroom. So then I changed and I said I want to be a teacher.
We heard Council Richard Alcorn said that funding for Culture's affairs has been cut back. How can voting change this?
Alarcon,
Do you want me to read the question again?
yes, I'm actually he made a statement that there wasn't enough money for cultural.
We heard Councilman Richard Alarcon say that funding for cultural affairs has been cut back. How can voting change this?
Okay. I brought some information on voting, and one of the, not to avoid answering your question, because I will answer it, but Alarcon is no longer in office. He hasn't been in office for quite a few years, so I think some of the information is a little bit past. But I know that with new individuals that are in office, those things are starting to really change, and there's a lot more recognition of cultural events. I just went to one last Saturday in Los Angeles called El Grito, that Monica Rodriguez, who represents the city as a city council person here, and a lot of the leaders from this area that actually graduated from San Fernando High School, and they were all there, and they put a big affair on for September 16th celebration. And there was a lot of music and food and people selling beautiful dresses like the one that are cultural. There was just a lot of fun because they had different groups that Latinos like, and that a lot of people like, and especially because there's so many Latinos now that they can't not deny that they have to listen to us now, and they have to recognize everything that we represent, because now we have voting power. We can go to vote, and we're going to make a difference now. Where before they didn't say, oh, they can't vote, or they don't come out and vote, so we don't have to really pay attention to what their needs are. But that is changing because there's a lot more of us now, and so a lot of that has changed. I think the question about Councilman Alarcon was a little bit in the past, but I do see a lot of changes because there's different people in office now that are making that change.
I read millennial voters are even more likely to vote. Why?
Okay, can you repeat it again?
I read millennial voters are even more likely to vote. Why are they?
Millennials. You know that one of the things that we want to really focus on, you know who millennials are? Actually, there's a group that's a new group coming out, okay, from the age of 18. I see it sometimes they say from 18 to 25, and I've seen it say from 18 to 35. But it's the younger folks that are important, because there's a lot of people that are eligible to vote in that age group, but they're not going out and voting. They sit back and they complain that, oh, this isn't getting done, and I hate this, and they're out there protesting. But then when you ask them, well, did you go out and vote to make that change, or to vote on a bill that could have changed that? And they say no. Why did you go and vote? Oh, I was tired, or I was doing something else. So I think that the important thing is that now more than ever, that age group is huge that are eligible to vote. We need to get them to go out and register. And then the important thing is not just register, but you get yourself out there and vote when it's time to vote. And that's what they're talking about. If we get those younger folks to make a difference, to vote, we will start seeing a change. You know, I went to a campaign when we were trying to get one of the individuals that's visiting today. We were trying to get her into office, and we were talking about how do we get out there and get voters to go vote. And they were talking about, well, who in this area is, who are the great majority of voters that actually go to on voting day and cast a ballot, they cast their vote. And they said it is men that are white and that are over 55 years old. And I'm like, does that talk about the millennials? Over 55 years old? No, but those are the people that are going and making time to go and vote. So who's making the decision? Older people that maybe don't think like the younger group, that want to see change, and change isn't happening because the only ones that go to vote are the older ones that have been making the decision over the years. The only way we're going to start seeing change is if we get the younger folks that can go out and vote to get out there and vote. It doesn't, no excuses. And that's what we need to do. And I think all of you have the power to do that, because you can go and you can tell your parents, can you vote? Because again, those are other things that we need laws to change so that we can get more people to be eligible to vote. But anyone who's 18 years old, that's a U.S. citizen, that lives in our state, can register to vote. And so if we have friends, if we have family, if we have anyone that is eligible to vote, then our job is to tell them that day, remind them, did you go out and vote? Today's voting day, did you go out and vote? And if they say, oh, I'm tired, what are you going to tell them? No excuses. Come on, I'll go with you. Let's go. We need to get out and vote.
What if there's like more like, you know how you said they're supposed to be U.S. citizens?
Mm-hmm.
What if they're like immigrants?
That's a good question, and maybe I can come back another time, because I brought some things that I wanted to show you how important this next election is, because some of the things that we need to change are, how can immigrants get to the point where they can become legal citizens? They want to be, they've lived here a long time. Even our dreamers, you know who the dreamers are? Students that came as babies, and they've lived here all their life, but they're not citizens. And so how do we get them to have a right to vote? They've been here all their life. This is really their home. But bills, the laws, need to change so that we can make sure that we can either make it a shorter term of time that they have to wait, that if they've lived here in this country and they haven't gotten in any kind of criminal, they haven't committed any kind of a crime, they can be eligible to vote. But sometimes the laws are made to make it longer, and it puts walls that people can't even get over because they make it impossible. So we need to get bills in place to make sure that immigrants that are here, and this is really their country, because they've lived here longer than they probably lived in their own, or they came here and they want to make this their country, they have children already. How can we change laws to allow them to become citizens and vote? But it takes a lot of change. Younger thought out there to say, wait a minute, there's something wrong with this. And right now, Trump is actually putting in some new laws that are even making it harder for someone to become a citizen. Because now they're saying, if you come and you go to a hospital and you get help, and we know about it, and you're not a citizen, and you got help from either food stamps or some kind of assistance from the government, you're not going to be eligible to become a citizen. Now he's making it even harder. So those are the things that we can't allow to happen. We really have to go out there and say, okay, no, younger folks, you don't like these ideas, then let's go out there and make some changes and turn these laws around. But you know, there's some, I'll let you finish asking your questions, and then I'll give you some information if we still have time, okay?
At first, why did you want people to vote?
Why do I want people to vote? Because there are some things that our country is doing that is not okay. We need to make sure that people, we look at a lot of bills this time around are talking about homelessness, about rent control. The rents are so high that people can't pay rent, and so they end up homeless, or they end up living in something that they wish they could live in something better, but that's all they can afford. There's a lot of bills that are going to be voted on in November that talk about housing. And housing means rent control. It means how do we control or make it affordable so people can buy homes. How do we make laws that help people stay in homes instead of ending up with a huge number of people that are homeless. So that's on the ballot right now. So those are things that there's the whole thing on how much gas prices are. You know, the gas prices go up. So if you make a living driving trucks or driving, or you have to go to work every day, and I can't even afford gas now, what happens? I can't get to work. I lose my job. Now I'm going to possibly be homeless too. So there's so many things that we can vote on that are bills that are currently going to be on the ballot in November.
How can we help more Latinos?
How can we help more Latinos? Well, first of all, one of the things that I said that I was very, very proud of is that we need first to get our Latinos to be educated. We need them to graduate from high school, and we need them to go to college. When you are bright, you're intelligent, you're educated, you read and become educated on what's going on, you can go out there and stand up for issues, things that don't make sense and are not okay, and you can go out there and be able to vote to make good decisions, and maybe someday you can run for office too, so that you can make those changes as well. So that's what we need. First of all, we need to make sure everyone gets educated, and that way we can make a difference.
I read that during the 2012 election, many Hispanics didn't vote, and why didn't they vote even though they could have?
And that's the question we're all asking, and that is one of the biggest things they're talking about right now. Before, they didn't even pay attention to Latinos because the number of people Latinos that could vote was so small. They said, we don't need to listen to them because they're not enough to make a difference. To swing a vote. Swing a vote means there's enough that can go vote. That group can go out there and vote, and it can actually take a bill in the direction we want it to go to make changes. Now there's so many of us, so many Latinos, that now we can be a swing vote if enough of us go out there and we truly believe in improving immigrant rights. If we truly believe in making changes on how you can earn citizenship, whatever it is, now they're paying attention to Latinos because there's enough of us that are eligible to vote and that we can make a difference in how the results of the vote are going to be. So the important thing is, okay, you're over 18 years of age, you're a U.S. citizen, you live in the state, now you go register to vote. Oh, I'm a registered voter. But on election day, I'm too tired to go. I'm not gonna go. Is your voice counted? Nope, it's not gonna make a difference. So you're absolutely right. The last election, they increased the number of not only Latinos but young voters that were saying, now we're tired of all of this. We need change. They went and registered, and they said close to 50%, it was 40 some percent of new millennials went and registered to vote, but only about 12% went and voted. So you get all of these numbers registered, but only that percent found it important enough for them to go vote. But yet you saw when Trump got elected, you saw a whole bunch of people out there protesting, young people protesting and saying, no, we need to get him out. And when they asked them, did you go out and vote? Are you registered? And they said, yes. Did you vote? No. Not okay.
One time when they were like, it was election time, I was waking up to go to school. It was a Tuesday, I think. And my dad's all like, guess who won for election? I'm all like, who? And I was excited because I thought it was going to be Hillary Clinton. But then once he said Donald Trump, I like screamed in the air and I threw my phone.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that screamed that day because, you know, it's so sad that there's a system in place that the only way it's going to change is if you get the right people to be at what they call it, be at the table when decisions are made, be there with a voice that's going to count. And then when we have those individuals that are representing us in Washington and in Sacramento for California, you know, they are the ones that say, okay, we're listening to everybody out in our state. This is what's happening, what we don't like. Okay, so now those representatives can go to the United States Congress, and I'll go over to what that is. And now they're there making decisions. They're creating the laws that make changes in the world, in the U.S. So what we need to do is make sure that those individuals are hearing our concerns and that they're representing our concerns when they're at the table being able to make those decisions. But it's the voters that actually make it actually pass and let it be heard. So all of it is very, very important.
Because their vote is their voice.
You're absolutely right. And next week, we are going to have a voter registration drive here at Vaughn. And we're going to try to get some tables out at the different schools and then at the family center, have it all week. So if you know anybody that hasn't registered and they want to make it easy, we're going to be registering people to vote that are eligible. Remember, they have to be 18 years of age, they have to be a citizen, and they have to live in California. And so we will register anybody who's available, and we're actually going to go to the high school. And we're going to register all of our seniors, because our seniors are 17 right now. Some of them are going to be 18 during the year, and some will turn 18. And even though they may not be able to vote in this election, if they're not 18 yet, if they register now, on their birthday when they turn 18, they're already registered. So that's what we're going to do with our high school students. And if you have anybody in your family that is eligible and hasn't registered, you tell them that Vaughn is going to be helping anybody who wants to come and make it easy to register. We're going to be registering folks this week. Okay?
My cousin, she finished high school last year, like when we were going to 5th grade. She finished high school and she goes to Lisa. Now she's 18 and my other cousin, she's also 21.
Are they registered to vote? Do you know?
I think one of them is 21, but the other one isn't.
So what's your homework?
To tell them to vote.
That's
Excuses.
My sister,
absolutely.
she graduated I think 2 years ago in 2016, and she was already registered to vote, and she did I think for Canada, I think even she voted for Canada, and she's graduated already, and she's
Very
20
good.
now.
Very good.
She's about to finish university.
Excellent.
She's getting her, I think, her Chicano Studies degree. I think it's Chicano Studies. She's a major.
Very good. That's what we need. We need all of you to make sure you graduate and you go to college and you make sure you get your voice counted whenever possible. Yes. Do you have any more questions? Can I show you something? Okay, I'm going to give you this sheet and you can read it later and I can come back if you would like and go over this, but I'm going to show you why this election is very, very important. We have, our government runs with 3 different groups that are, this is called, and you're going to learn this in high school. But because you're so bright, you're going to learn it in
5th grade.
5th grade, right? 4th, 5th. Legislative and judicial. The executive is the president and the vice president. Okay, I'll put VP. That's who the executive branch is. So that's who?
President and the vice
Who's our president? Trump. And this is
vice president.
the vice president. That no, actually, right now it's Pence. His name's Pence. Okay. Pence. He works with Trump. Okay. Now, legislative has two big groups: the Senate and the House of. And I'm going to put reps, but it's the House of Representatives. Okay. The Senate. And I'll show you in a minute because it actually gives you more information here. The judicial is the Supreme Court. And I'm going to show you why this is so important right now. Now, the Senate is made up of 2 members from every state. How many states do we have? 50. So how many total senators do we have? Very good. So we have 100 in the Senate. Every state gets to send 2 people to Washington, D.C. to make decisions on laws because these make the laws. They actually enforce the law, okay? They kind of just oversee these 2 groups. The House of Reps have 435. There's 435 members of the House of Representatives. A lot more. Now this is based on how many, what's the population of your state. On this one, the Senate, it doesn't matter how big your state is, you're going to get 2 representatives to sit over there and make decisions, okay, make laws. The House of Reps works differently. They base it on what's the population of your state. The state of California has a lot of people. So we actually have 53. California sends 53 members to the House of Reps. Okay? That's a lot of people that go represent us in California. They make the laws of this United States. This year, all of the members of the House of Representatives, all 435, are going to be re-elected this year. So they're going to be on the ballot. So it's very important. In the Senate, we have, and actually I'll give you each one of these, but in the Senate you have two senators. Oh, what did I do with their pictures? I wanted you to see what their pictures look like. Here they are. Right now we have Senator Feinstein and we have Kamala Harris. Right now, she is up for re-election. Okay? And she is going against another candidate named Kevin De Leon. Both of them actually support immigrant rights a lot. She has been a representative for a very, very, very long time. Right now, the chances of De Leon really winning is a little off. But, okay, so I'm going to give you this real quick so that you take that with you home too, and that way you can show it to your parents. Right now, you'll see for the United States what's going to be in our ballot that's real important. We have Kevin De Leon and Dianne Feinstein for the Senate. Okay? The House of Representatives, there's 53. It depends on where you live. So on the back, what I did is I tried to see, okay, who are some areas around here that your parents, where you might live. These 2 are running. If you live in Santa Clarita, Simi Valley, any of those, these are the 2 that are running. And there's really important, when you look at these people, you have to know what is their platform, what is that they believe. Do I believe like they do or no? Steve Knight has been there for a long time, and he is known to not like immigrants, not believe in any of that. So that kind of tells you what Ms. Zepeda thinks of getting him out of office, right? Now, in Burbank, Glendale area, Adam Schiff has been very, very supportive of immigrant rights. So we definitely look at wanting to get him back in office, okay? But you can only vote for them if you live in this area. Pacoima, Mission Hills, we have Tony Cardenas and Benito Bernal. Tony Cardenas actually graduated from San Fernando High School, and he's been very supportive of making sure that immigrant rights are protected. So we really are working towards getting him back in office. And then in Sherman Oaks, Sunland, over in that area, it's Brad Sherman and Mark Reed, and Brad Sherman again is one that is very supportive of immigrants. So it depends on where you live, if these are going to be on the ballot. But it's real important that there's two other things. That the House of Reps, we definitely need to make sure we get the right people in there, because they're the ones that are going to be changing the laws of the United States. Here in California, another one real important is Superintendent of Education. They're the ones that make decisions for the schools. So they're going to be on the ballot. And we have two, Tony Thurman and Marshall. It's important your parents get educated on, how to take a lead. Who do I want to support? Who do you want to support? And then there's all of these offices as well. But the important one is, remember, these two make decisions for the U.S. The House of Reps is going to be re-elected. They also get to choose who's on the Supreme Court, and there's a big, I'm sure in the news you're hearing a lot about a man named Kavanaugh. Pay attention to the news. There's somebody, Kavanaugh, that they want to play, Trump wants to place on the Supreme Court. And the Senate is the one that has to vote to say that's what we want or we don't want it. And right now, they're fighting not to put him in there because he believes like Trump does. And so it's important to put the right people here, because they're the ones that get to make some decisions that are very important for us. Okay? And as it gets closer to election time, if you'd like, I can come back and we can talk about it with a little more time, so you really get an understanding, and that way you can go and educate your family. All right, thank you. Thank you for your questions.
Thank you, Ms. Zepeda.